of America, and they don't like most of the Trump voters because they are Americans. And De Niro, how stupid is he without a script? Isn't that amazing? I used to think, wow, that guy's brilliant. But once you take the words away from him, he is so stupid. Then when he says, impeachment will make America great again, and everybody's, how intellectually deprived he is. He's a coke-addled simpleton, without a script. It is hysterical.
Robert De Niro and Greg Gutfeld went head-to-head live on TV. And it wasn't just a heated exchange, it was an explosive showdown.
And the star of Dirty Grandpa, Robert De Niro, getting censored by The View after raging like a bull who saw a red MAGA hat.
And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French, literally, it's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country.
Jesse, I find that he's smartest when they drop his...
Honestly, you'd think it was ripped straight from a comedy sketch. De Niro, yeah, the iconic actor from Taxi. Driver and Goodless has recently turned every off-screen moment into a strange, politically loaded rant. He's looking less like a Hollywood legend and more like a fired-up uncle who just discovered how to work a webcam.
Of course, the real story is how accusations of Trump's nutty behavior always ends up with the accusers acting nuttier. De Niro calls Trump crazy as he goes crazier. Adam Schiff calls Trump a liar as he makes up quotes. Dems talk about undermining institutions as they try to undermine an election. But when asked for reasons why Trump shouldn't be president, all Bobby had were sputtering F-bombs. His resistance had run out of...
This wasn't your typical celebrity rant. It was a full-scale theatrical meltdown. De Niro went all in, tearing into anything. Even loosely tied to Trump, like he was trying out for an off-Broadway production called Anger Unleashed.
Last night, an elderly, confused man went missing in New York. Luckily, a band of self-satisfied elitists found him babbling on the street, threw some pants on him, gave him a stage.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
It kills me. Talk about persuasive. Really, I was on the fence about Trump, but then I decided to really listen to one of the great generational leaders of American pop culture. And the clenched fist at the end, that really drove it home. It looked like he was pressing a 2-pound weight in a Jenny Craig commercial.
Oh my God.
Look at it again. It's so cute.
Then came Greg Gutfeld, Fox News, reigning champ of sarcasm and savage commentary. And let's be clear, he didn't just clap back, he demolished. With that trademark smirk, Gutfeld took De Niro's political tirade and sliced it into punchlines. So sharp, the audience was in stitches. This wasn't a civil debate. It was a comedic beatdown wrapped in a political rebuttal. Gutfeld didn't just go after De Niro's talking points. He torched the whole Hollywood persona behind them. With surgical wit and deadpan delivery, he turned what could have been a shouting match into a televised masterclass in takedowns. It was the kind of TV moment you don't scroll past raw, hilarious, and totally unscripted. If you're into fiery showdowns, cutting humor, and watching Hollywood egos get deflated in real time, you're exactly where you need to be. Smash that subscribe button. It keeps the no-filter content flowing and genuinely makes a difference.
Good time to reflect on how Americans fought and died so that we may enjoy the freedoms guaranteed to us by a democratic government. A government that, as President Lincoln said, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms.
De Niro came out, swinging like he was trying out for Angry Rant, the musical. Instead of thoughtful commentary, we got a chaotic tirade that felt more like your quirky uncle sounding off at Thanksgiving than a veteran actor offering political insight. From unloading on Trump to painting the entire political scene with apocalyptic strokes, De Niro was all heat and zero filter. But Gutfeld, unfazed, he watched De Niro's emotional avalanche roll in and turned it into target practice. Every dramatic claim was met with a razor-edged comeback, cool, calculated, and dripping with just enough sarcasm to sting. While De Niro raged, Gutfeld countered with surgical precision and a smirk, landing hit after hit without breaking a sweat.
Inflation. Instead, he's obsessed with these hypothetical what-ifs that Trump is going to keep hold on to power. None of these things are...
De Niro, meanwhile, seemed trapped in full performance mode. Every line was delivered with the weight of a Shakespearean monologue. Dramatic, intense, theatrical, like he was closing out the final act of a political thriller. But here's the problem. What he thought were knockout blows often landed. Like soft jabs, he painted Trump as if he were the ultimate villain in some dystopian blockbuster, but his arguments lacked real substance. And Gutfeld saw it immediately. So when De Niro thundered about Trump stripping Americans of their freedoms, Gutfeld.com and Collected fired back with that trademark grin, turning overblown drama into comedic gold.
Robert De Niro graced the knitting circle in hell known as The View, where he tried to link random thoughts into a sentence. Joy was there to wind him up, since he's played some of the most unredeemable characters.
You have played some of the most really unredeemable characters. Travis Bickle. Travis Bickle was a psychopathic taxi driver. Jake LaMotta, who used to beat his wife, and he was in The Raging Bull. Is Trump worse than they are?
To me, he is. He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
De Niro clearly has thought about this, more so than his career. His choice of roles is now down to cinnamon and lobster.
One thing was clear. Gutfeld didn't just make people laugh, he made them think. As the verbal sparring heated up, he blended tension and humor in a way only a few can pull off. This wasn't just a clapback, it was a breakdown. Gutfeld called out the irony head-on. Here was De Niro, a man famous for portraying mobsters, rebels, and pressure-proof anti-heroes, completely unraveling at the mere sight of a political view he didn't agree with. Gutfeld framed him as a guy stuck in an echo chamber, like a vinyl record skipping on the same tired line. It was a brutal contrast. Art versus authenticity. He held up a mirror, comparing De Niro's layered, nuanced characters with his one-dimensional off-screen rants. The complexity that once defined him had given way to a single-note performance. On repeat, Gutfeld didn't stop at challenging the message. He turned it into a character study. He played old clips of De Niro ranting in interviews,